Good evening and welcome to a meeting of the Chesapeake School Board. A printed agenda is available in the back of the room if you wish to follow the business items we'll be discussing this evening. Roll call, Dr. Smith.
Mr. Elijah Colon. Ms. Malia Huddle. Mr. John McCormick.
Here.
Mr. Norman Poole.
Here.
Dr. Amanda Quillen.
Here.
Mrs. Angela Swigert.
Here.
Mrs. Amanda Walker.
Here.
Mr. Mike Lamonia, Vice Chair.
Here.
Mrs. Kim Scott, Chair.
Here. The next item is the adoption of the agenda. Does the superintendent or any board member wish to add or delete an item from the agenda?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Don't have any amendments for the agenda, but we will need a closed session to discuss student matters this evening.
I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Mr. McCormick. Was that you? Mr. Poole. Is there a second? Seconded by Ms. Swigert. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
We will now go into the closed portion of our meeting. I'll ask Vice Chair Lamonia to read the language to take us into closed session.
Chair Scott, I move that the board should convene in closed session pursuant to the Code of Virginia, Sections 2.2-3711, subsection A2, for discussion and consideration of student disciplinary matters.
Is there a second? I'm sorry, I didn't catch who said that. Mrs. Walker. Okay, the motion was made by Vice Chair Lamonia and the second was by Ms. Walker. All those in favor, or wait, is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
All right, we are now in closed session. Vice Chair Lamonia, would you please read the statement to bring us back into open session?
Chair Scott, I move that the record show that the only items discussed in the closed meeting were those specifically cited in the motion to convene into the closed meeting and those lawfully exempted from statutory meeting requirements.
Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Ms. Swigert. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith?
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
Next, I will entertain a motion regarding the appeal under School Board Policy 9-21. Mr. McCormick?
Yes, I'll make a motion in regards to the appeal. Let's start over. In regards to the appeal, superintendent's decision pursuant to Board Policy 921 in reference to student 2926A-1, I move to support the recommendation of the superintendent.
Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Mr. Colon. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
As there are no additional items from the closed session, we will move on to the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time, I'd like to call upon Pastor Kim Priddy from Great Bridge Presbyterian Church to provide tonight's invocation. Afterwards, I'll ask Adre Dowdy, a fifth grade student from Deep Creek Elementary School, to lead us in the pledge. Please stand as you are able.
I will say I'm used to having you all in front of me and the choir behind me, but I am new to your area, and I am honored to be here with you all this evening. You all are dedicated to such important work. As they were interviewing me for the position, they kept saying the schools here are great. Unfortunately, mine are adulting now, but what a blessing it is. So let us offer a prayer. Gracious and holy Creator, we gather this evening with a shared commitment to the future of our community. We ask for your presence as we begin this meeting, acknowledging the weighty responsibility held by those in this room. We ask for a special blessing upon all of our students. In their great diversity, may they each find a safe and nurturing environment to grow, discover their unique potential, and gain the wisdom they need for the journey ahead. We lift up all of our school employees, our teachers, administrators, and support staff. Grant them renewed strength, patience, and an unwavering passion as they dedicate themselves to the care and equipment of our children every day. Finally, we pray for the members of this school board as they undertake the vital work of leadership. Grant them discernment and wisdom. May their discussions be marked by a spirit of collaboration and their decisions always reflect what is best for the well-being of our entire school district. May this meeting be productive and peaceful. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Adre and Pastor Pretty. Adre, I see your family is here with you tonight and your principal, Leah Canterbury. We appreciate your time. Adre is actually missing a basketball game, so he could be here tonight to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and he's the star player. So give it up for Adre. Thank you all so much. We're going to move on to awards and recognitions. The first item under awards and recognitions is the CMSL Chesapeake Champions. Dr. Smith?
Thank you very much, Chair Scott. We are so excited to be recognizing lots and lots of our student athletes tonight. We're going to get started with our Chesapeake champions at the middle school level, and I'm asking Mr. Paul Wilson, our Director of Student Support Services. He'll be at the podium tonight to facilitate the awards for these students. Welcome, Mr. Wilson.
I'm pretending that hand clap was for me. That would be a first. Good evening, Chair Scott, Vice Chair Lamonia, members of the school board, Dr. Cotton, and members of the superintendent's cabinet. Tonight, we're excited to celebrate the achievements and successes of the students and coaches in Chesapeake Public Schools who earned championships and all-state honors in the Chesapeake Middle School League and Virginia High School League. Tonight is one of those nights as we're here to recognize the CMSL Fall Champions and the VHSL All-State and Championship team in varsity football. We will recognize these students and coaches in 4 different groups tonight, so let's get started. Our first group of students and coaches won the CMSL City Championship in baseball and football this past fall. In baseball, our CMSL champions were the Bruins from Western Branch Middle School. They defeated Hugo Owens Middle School with a final score of 10-3. They are represented tonight by their team captains and head coach. Students and coaches, please take one step forward when I call your name. Zayden Limbaugh, Marcos Ruiz, Jacob Snipes, and the coach is Carlton Bitgood. In football, our CMSL champions were the Tigers of Oscar Smith Middle School. They defeated Hugo Owens Middle School 34-6 in a championship game. Their team captains and head coach are also present tonight. Students and coaches, please take one step forward as I call your name. Jameer Blow, Malcolm Blow, William Blow, Stephen Holmes, Marquise Price, and the coach is William Blow. I am sure there are family members in the audience here to celebrate the accomplishments of these city champions, so please stand at this time to be recognized by the board. Congratulations to our CMSL baseball and football champions and their coaches. It's now time for you to move to the right to meet the members of the school board. Good job, guys. Good job, guys. You guys excited? Yes. Our second group of students and coaches won the CMSL City Championship in game day cheerleading, girls soccer, and softball this past fall. In game day cheerleading, our CMSL champions were the Panthers from Greenbrier Middle School with a combined score of 242 points. They are represented tonight by their team captains and head coach. Students and coaches, please take one step forward when I call your name. Doris Ikentunde, Andrea Dyson, Jaden White, and the coach is Brittany Meyer. In girls soccer, our CMSL champions were the Wildcats from Great Bridge Middle School. They defeated Hickory Middle School 1-0 in the city championship. They are represented tonight by their team captains and head coach. So students and coaches, please take one step forward when I call your name. Malia Cochran, Olivia Jones, Rebecca Schaefer, and the coach is Sabrina Luciana. And finally, in softball, our CMSL champions were the Wildcats from Great Bridge Middle School. They defeated Deep Creek Middle School 21-13 in the city championship. They are represented tonight by their team captains and head coach. They defeated Hickory Middle School, thank you, sir, 21-13 in the city championship. Students and coaches, please take one step forward when I call your name. Caitlin Fidel, Catherine Fleischer, Brooklyn Miller, and Coach Sarah Pointer. If there are any family members, coaches, or representatives in the audience to celebrate the accomplishments of these city champions, please stand at this time to be recognized by the board. Congratulations to our CMSL Game Day cheerleading, girls soccer, and softball champions and their coaches. You can now move to the right to meet the members of the school board. It happens. Our third group of students and coaches earned VHSL First Team All-State Honors in varsity football. Voted on by coaches across Virginia, earning All-State First Team Honors is a remarkable achievement worthy of celebration and recognition. Students and coaches, please take one step forward when I call your name. For First Team All-State Varsity Football from Indian River High School, Corey Sanderlin. And the head coach is Brandon Carr. And from Oscar Smith High School, we have Lonnie Andrews, Jaden Coville, Lincoln Halliday, Narad Jarvis, Travis Johnson, Quali Price, Malachi White, and Dory Lewis Wilson. And the head coach is Chris Scott. If there are any family members, staff members, or supporters in the audience to celebrate the accomplishments of these all-state participants, please stand at this time to be recognized by the board. Congratulations to our all-state first-team athletes in varsity football and their coaches. It's now time for you to move to the right to meet the members of the school board. Like we just did this last year. This impressive group of student athletes and coaches beside me is no stranger to winning on the Commonwealth of Virginia's biggest stages. Oscar Smith High School arrived in the mountains of Harrisonburg, Virginia on a 13-game winning streak, winning every game after their loss against Gonzaga High School, the #1 ranked team in Washington, D.C. early in the season. And this game felt like a business trip for the Tigers. While their previous state title game last year was full of ups and downs that ultimately led to triumph, this year's game was never in doubt as the Tigers defeated North Stafford High School 44-0. I watched with pride from the stands and even tried to copy the chants from the cheerleaders and alumni as Oscar Smith brought home his 6th state championship, his 4th in the last 6 years, and his 2nd in a row in varsity football. Let's take a look at how our friends at Wavy 10 documented this historic achievement.
This time last year, Oscar Smith went down to the wire to capture a Class 6 state championship right here at James Madison University. Nothing down to the wire about this one. The Tigers blanked North Stafford in the Class 6 state title game 44-0. They go back-to-back.
Our guys were locked in. This is a big program win. You know, got guys on the team like Sean Mitchell, Ramon Copeland Jr., Ricky Walker, all guys that used to play here, didn't get one, didn't finish it, but came back to give back to the community, and they get one here. Yeah, I know you got us.
This offense was on fire from the opening whistle. Lonnie Andrews had 3 touchdowns on the day, Ty J. Curtis over 100 rushing yards, and Travis Johnson, his last game as an Oscar Smith Tiger before heading off to Ann Arbor and becoming a Michigan Wolverine. The wide receiver, 68 yards, but 2 touchdowns on only 5 targets. A special day for him and this entire senior class.
It means amazing. There's a brotherhood. I love Smith. I'll forever love Smith, so it's definitely great to go out like this. Blowout. I love this dude, man. Lonnie Andrews.
You know, this senior class right here, I have a close bond with pretty much most of them. You know, because they were sophomores when I came in as freshmen. They welcomed me in with open arms and things of that nature. And this is a big senior class, and we're going to miss these guys very much. Great job, Blue!
The Tigers finished their season with a 13-1 record and, most importantly, a 6th state championship in program history. In Harrisonburg for the Sport Track, I'm James Catato.
That afternoon, it was evident that Oscar Smith not only had the eye of the tiger, but a heart of a champion. And as this is such a large group, students and coaches, please just raise your hand for me when I call your name so you can be recognized. Cordero Alexander, Lonnie Andrews, Jaquan Bowden, Trayshawn Bradley, Jayshawn Brooks, Kaimonte Bynum, Bryson Campbell, Brandon Church, Xavier Clarkson, Jaden Colville, Jamari Custis, Oliver Daniel, Braden Davis, Jalil Deckel, Dante Dent, Tyron Drain, Bryce Dukes, Kenneth Fairbanks Jr., Isaiah Farrar, Jayshawn George, Breon Gibson, Khalif Graham, Aiden Griffin, Tristan Griffin, Demetrius Gunter, Lincoln Holliday, Vashawn Harmon, Justin Hinton, Rajon Holmes Griffin, Zion Hilton, Stephen Ibarra, Titus Ukaya Murphy, Nyrod Jarvis, Rovan Javier, Josiah Jenkins, Kamari Johnson, Travis Johnson, Amir Joyner, Damari Lawrence Cortez, Dory Lewis Wilson, Davion Martin, Charles McLeod, Eugene Miller IV, Darius Moore, Anthony Morgan Jr., Malik Neverson, Jaden Patterson, Quali Price, James Salmon, Randall Scott, Tavion Simmons, Jaden Smith, Miguel Smith, Joshua Stepney, Tremaine Stevens, Javon Taylor, Ozzie Tower, Drayon Wallace, Reginald Wallace, Caden Walker, Ken Morris Watts, Demira Wirtz, Malachi White, Jaleel Wiley, Tavion Wiggins, Lennox Williams, Malik Williams, Pharrell Williams, Tyron Wilson, and the head coach is Chris Scott. If there are any family members, staff members, or supporters in the audience and coaches that are here to celebrate the accomplishments of these students and athletes, please stand at this time to be recognized by the board. Congratulations to our state champions in Class 6 varsity football and their coaches. It's now time for you to move to the right to meet the members of the school board.
Travis Johnson's mom, was he being recognized separately?
We recognize in the
With the
third
team?
grade. Yep. Thank you, Madam Chair. This concludes my presentation for tonight.
Thank you. Let's go Tigers. Woohoo! Next under awards and recognitions is School Board Appreciation Month. Dr. Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You have to follow that. So apologize. We should have moved you all up. So it is School Board Appreciation Month. February is School Board Appreciation Month, and we have several gifts provided for you tonight at your place this evening. You will find a certificate from the Virginia School Boards Association in recognition of your service to our schools and community. Also, a stationery set provided by our very own print shop that I hope you'll enjoy. We appreciate your dedication and service and are happy to honor each of you this evening and this month. And of course, we have another little something coming your way from our students at the Career Center. I don't want to spoil it because it's coming at the next meeting, but we do appreciate all you do each and every day. So happy School Board Appreciation Month. Thank you.
I'm really looking forward to the gift from the Career Center. But I know we all appreciate our new stationery, so thank you so much. The VSBA also designates February for School Board Clerk Appreciation. Our clerk is Dr. Angie Smith with the assistance of Miss Darlene Gorman. These ladies are the behind-the-scenes heroes. Their work is essential for the smooth functioning of school governance, and I know I speak on behalf of the entire school board when I say you are appreciated, valued, and very much loved by all of us. We literally would be lost without you. We hope that you appreciate the gifts. Mrs. Walker and Mr. McCormick are going to present you with your gifts. We hope you enjoy them and pamper yourself. Thank you so much. We're now going to move on to the hearing of citizens. Dr. Smith, do we have anybody here to speak?
Yes, Madam Chair, we have one citizen requesting time to speak.
Thank you. During their allotted time, speakers should observe our rules of decorum and know that expression of concerns and criticism on matters of school policy and operations is welcome. While the speaker's own comments are welcome, they may not play pre-recorded messages. I want to thank those speakers who signed up to address the board this evening. As a reminder, there are 2 ways that citizens can request time to speak at the meeting. You can call the clerk's office before 12 p.m. the day of the meeting, or sign up to speak prior to the start of the meeting. All in-person requests to speak must be submitted to the deputy clerk 5 minutes prior to the published meeting start time. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to address the board. Once your allotted time is over, we ask that you promptly exit the podium. You may choose to sit in the boardroom if seats are available, but standing or sitting on the floor will not be permitted, and you may not block the exit doors. We would also like to ask that you refrain from any behavior that disrupts the meeting, including the use of profanity, applause, cheering, or jeering. Dr. Smith, please call the first speaker.
Yes, I'd like to invite speaker number 1 to the podium. Speaker number 1, if you'll state your name and city of residence before you begin your remarks.
Hello, my name is Tiana Morton. I reside in Chesapeake, Virginia, 23320. Excuse me while I look down. I did take some notes just to make sure I stay within my time. Okay. Good evening. My name is Tiana Morton, and I am a parent within Chesapeake Public Schools. I'm here today because I believe every student deserves to feel safe, respected, and protected, both in academic and athletic environments. Recently, during an athletic event, racial language was directed toward my son. Instead of the behavior being directly addressed, teams were instructed to only speak to their teammates the rest of their game. The behavior continued, no protections were put into place, and ultimately my son was removed from the game for his adverse response to racial harassment. Unfortunately, this is not an isolated event or experience for my family. On multiple occasions, I had to repeatedly advocate for accommodations and safety measures to protect my son. In many cases, those protections were only implemented after escalation beyond school leadership and after I personally suggested these solutions. I share this because it highlights a larger concern. When safety measures depend on how persistent a parent is, rather than consistent district procedures, families begin to lose confidence in the system meant to protect their children. I want to trust that when my child enters the Chesapeake school or participates in school athletics, his safety and dignity are a priority. I believe that it is a goal everyone in this room shares. However, when racial harassment is minimized or addressed inconsistently, it sends a message to students about what behavior is tolerated and whose experiences are taken seriously. Leadership responses shape school culture, and students are always watching how adults respond in moments like this. At this time, my confidence in the district's ability to consistently protect my child has been deeply shaken. And I know my family is not the only one that has felt this way. I'm asking this board to carefully examine how racial harassment incidents are handled across Chesapeake Public Schools. I am asking for transparent policies, consistent accountability, staff training, and proactive protection plans for students who experience discrimination. No parent should have to repeatedly fight for their child's basic safety, as I have on countless occasions with Chesapeake Public Schools, specifically Great Bridge High School. No student should have to question whether reporting racial harassment will result in protection or punishment, because upon those first situations that occurred at our home school, Great Bridge High School, my son no longer starts on the basketball team after these accusations were made against his coach, and he has no explanation as to why. This is bigger than my son, of course.
Thank you for your comments. I'm sorry, but please feel free to email us the rest of your comments, because we do care about what you have to say. Thank you, Ms. Morton. I appreciate you for being here tonight. Our practice is to receive information. However, we do not usually engage in dialogue, and that is our intent tonight. If appropriate and not already provided, someone from the superintendent's staff will evaluate your concern and provide a response. We will now consider the consent agenda. I'll entertain a motion for approval. Moved by Ms. Huddle. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. McCormick. Is there any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Dr. Smith.
Motion carries with all board members voting yes.
Moving on to the information agenda, the first item this evening is the superintendent's proposed budgets. Dr. Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to share an overview of our budget this evening. To begin, I'll start by providing a broad overview of our budget priorities and the budget development process, and then I'll invite our Chief Financial Officer, Mrs. Melissa Glod, to review our budget survey results, latest budget assumptions, discuss insights into the state budget, and provide a comprehensive review of our budget details. At the end of the presentation, I will review recommendations for the use of one-time funds and discuss our upcoming meeting schedule outlining the next steps in the process. One thing I'm very proud of is that we always ensure that our budget priorities are tightly aligned with our strategic plan. Earlier this year, we unveiled for you our next goals in the Empower 2030 plan. It's important to note that our vision and mission remain the same, and our plan focuses on inspiring, engaging, and empowering all students to achieve their highest potential. Tonight, you'll see that each one of our budget priorities aligns with one of our 5 goals within our strategic plan, with a focus on supporting our learners, our people, our operations, our well-being, and our community. Supporting the needs of our learners remains our top priority. As you can see, the proposed budget outlines critical investments aimed at enhancing the academic experience for our students. 5 additional school-based instructional support positions are being added to better support students and provide lucrative opportunities for staff. Additionally, we are excited to introduce several new dual enrollment courses offering more advanced and college credit opportunities for our high school students. Another major initiative at the secondary level includes the early development and planning of a new specialized high school academy program. Our first step in the process is to gather input from students, parents, and community members on the areas of greatest interest. We look forward to surveying the community soon, and we're excited to begin development of this new program. As you know, we are also preparing for our newest elementary school and conducting thorough instructional and operational planning for the site in the Culpeper Landing neighborhood. You'll notice another academic priority is to ensure we maintain access to the educational software and resources previously funded by the expiring All-In grant that the state provided. Retaining this access ensures a seamless continuation of our digital resources. Our commitment to investing in our people includes a compensation plan designed to reward our valued staff members. We are pleased to announce that teachers and all personnel on the unified scale will receive a 3% increase in compensation, even though the governor's budget only included a 2% increase. This increase consists of a 1.5% adjustment to the salary scale combined with a 1.5% increase. As a result of this adjustment, the starting salary for teachers is set to rise to $57,413, an increase from $56,564, which was for the previous fiscal year. Furthermore, support and administrative staff will also benefit from the same 3% total compensation increase. Our objective is to effectively recruit, retain, and support our employees, and this compensation adjustment represents a vital step in achieving that goal. In the event that additional funds become available, increasing compensation even more would be a priority for me. Another big priority for us is to keep the focus on our strategic management initiatives related to our workforce. We are dedicated to proactively and strategically addressing the challenges posed by declining enrollment and rising healthcare costs to secure the long-term sustainability of our division. And of course, when Mrs. Glod comes forward, she'll be talking to you more about enrollment that we've been monitoring closely. A critical component of this strategy is to continually optimize the sharing of benefit premiums between our employees and Chesapeake Public Schools. This approach is vital for maintaining the stability of our benefit plans and ensuring that our employees receive competitive rates for years to come. As you are aware, we are very proud of the health and wellness packages and services offered to our employees, and our goal is to continue to maintain these high-quality benefits. Additionally, we plan to transition employees from positions previously funded by the expiring Virginia All-In Grant, which expires by the end of the school year, and placing them into similar available roles within our school division. Our next strategic goal focuses on our operations. First, we are proposing greater investment in facility maintenance to ensure our buildings continue to be well-maintained. A key operational shift is our plan to reduce dependence on portable classrooms. Our goal is to not buy any new or replacement portable classrooms in the coming year, which I'm sure the board does appreciate. We are also looking forward to several initiatives related to transportation that allow us to focus on efficiency and reliability. We will implement a regular school bus replacement cycle to manage our fleet consistently. We also have plans to expand our summer bus driver training program. We hope this expansion will allow us to fill vacancies at the start of the school year, helping to minimize the number of unfilled routes. Finally, we will pilot a multimodal transportation program, an innovative approach that, if successful, will help reduce our reliance on more costly private transportation services. The newest component of our Empower 2030 strategic plan puts a focus on the well-being of our students and staff. We are looking forward to the opportunity to add mental health supports and resources for our students. This budget includes grant funding for access to virtual mental health care, and we have several of our departments working on the implementation of this new resource for our families. Safety and security has always remained a top priority. We are continuing the ongoing construction of elementary school vestibules and will maintain the elementary school sheriff deputy program, which is fully funded by Chesapeake Public Schools. We are also looking forward to continuing some exciting upgrades to our high school athletic facilities and greater centralization of athletic expenditures. Our final goal area represents our focus on supporting our community. The proposed budget includes key investments to strengthen and expand on our existing connections. First, we remain committed to providing stronger supports for our Spanish-speaking families to ensure all parents and guardians can effectively engage with their child's education, with their schools, and with our district. We also plan to expand available family and community engagement resources to provide more opportunities and materials that will foster collaboration between our schools and the people we serve. We also have plans to modernize our print shop equipment, allowing us to continue to produce high-quality resources and materials for our staff, students, and community. In case you weren't aware, our print shop also provides cost-effective services to our city and other area nonprofit organizations. That's our commercial there for you. Before handing the presentation over to Melissa Glod, our Chief Financial Officer, who's eagerly awaiting her opportunity to share all the data with you, I'd like to provide a quick overview of the budget development process. We began in September by collecting funding requests from departments that support their programs and initiatives, as well as human resource requests from principals that exceed typical school staffing needs. This year, the Division of Communications, Planning, and Engagement designed and conducted a survey to gather feedback from our key stakeholders, including employees, students, and community members. The team did an excellent job collecting and analyzing the feedback, which we used to help prioritize budget requests in alignment with our strategic plan. And of course, Mrs. Glod will share more about these survey results. In November and December, the Budget Office was busy reviewing budget requests with leadership staff and analyzing the governor's budget. We used this information to assist in projecting expenditures and revenue and updating the salary module. In January, my cabinet and I conducted several meetings to review and prioritize the budget request. As you've seen tonight, we used our strategic goals and stakeholder feedback as guiding principles. Then we got to work at balancing the budget request against the available projected revenues and one-time funds. At this time, I will pass the presentation over to Mrs. Glod. She will provide an in-depth review of the budget and the numbers behind the anticipated revenue and expenditures. Thank you, Mrs. Glod.
Thank you, Dr. Cotton, and good evening, Chair Scott, Vice Chair Lamonia, and school board members. This evening, I'm happy to share the details of the fiscal year 26-27 budget with all of you and the community of Chesapeake. Let's start by looking at what matters most to our key stakeholders based on the results of the budget survey from this past November. The survey was open to our entire CPS community, including students, parents, staff, and citizens. It was shared electronically through several channels such as text notifications, social media, direct email, and calendar invites. Participation was voluntary and anonymous, and we're very pleased with the 2,919 responses received. This survey is a vital tool for collaboration, giving our community a voice in how we plan and spend district resources to best support Chesapeake students. By aligning budget priorities with community input, in addition to Empower 2030, we can foster a more responsive and engaged approach to resource allocation. In reviewing survey results, the most prominent theme across all stakeholder groups was the need to increase teacher and staff salaries. This priority was not only selected by 96% of teachers, but was also voted as the top concern by parents and students. In total, 89% of respondents indicated that additional funding should be directed towards salary increases, with nearly 1/3 of open-ended responses specifically addressing compensation and its ability to improve retention, strengthen morale, and strengthen student outcomes. This proposed budget has prioritized compensation with a recommended 3% compensation adjustment for all contracted staff. The next greatest priority was the recruitment of additional bus drivers. Our recommendation to expand summer bus driver training, along with the benefits underway with our new transportation software, we are prioritizing solutions to help us overcome issues presented by bus driver shortages. 58% of respondents believe that more funding should be allocated to support employee well-being. Our benefit plans and wellness programs are best in class, and we understand their value to our employees and retirees. We're committed to ensuring the sustainability of these programs through thoughtful management and continued review of its offerings to employees. 58% of respondents believe greater funding should go towards reducing class size. At Chesapeake, we are proud of our standard of smaller student-to-teacher ratios than those required by the state. When planning teacher staffing for a new school year, Chesapeake standards are used to determine the appropriate number of teachers for each grade and/or subject based on enrollment. Staffing standards are included in the appendix of the proposed budget book. Finally, 56% of respondents believe more funding should go towards providing greater mental health support for students. We are very grateful for the Virginia Department of Behavioral Health and Development Services' recent grant award that supports school-based telehealth services to students outside of school hours. We want to say thank you to all survey participants for sharing your feedback. Again, it has been instrumental in prioritizing the spend of available revenue. A full report of the survey results is provided in the superintendent's proposed budget book. Now, let's review the key assumptions we used to build the proposed budget. The first assumption is average daily membership, or ADM. This number is calculated by dividing the total number of days students are enrolled by the number of days school is in session. ADM plays a critical role in determining how much state aid we receive. Nation and statewide student enrollment has been unpredictable in recent years because of a steady decline in birth rates since the Great Recession and the recovery in school enrollment since the pandemic. Looking ahead, a steady decline in K-12 enrollment will continue due to the lower birth rates and now that the pandemic enrollment recovery is likely complete. Chesapeake has experienced the same unpredictability in recent years, along with a steady enrollment decline since fiscal year 22-23. For fiscal year 26-27, we expected ADM of 39,245, a decrease of 655 students compared to the fiscal year 25-26 budget. This estimate is based on both recent and past enrollment patterns shown in this graph. The second key assumption is the local composite index, which measures our division's ability to pay for education and determines how state and local funding is divided. For the upcoming 2-year period, our LCI is 0.3209, a very small decrease from fiscal year 25-26. This decline is good news for our students because it means we receive more state funding. The third key assumption is that the superintendent's proposed budget is based on Governor Youngkin's proposed 2-year budget released on December 17th. The Virginia Department of Education provided a calculation tool in conjunction with the governor's budget, which we use as the basis for our expected state revenues in fiscal year 26-27. It's important to note that this budget remains subject to change based on General Assembly action. As part of the state budget process, the governor's biennial budget requires General Assembly approval. Since its release, both the House of Delegates and Senate have been reviewing his budget and proposing amendments. Next week marks crossover, the point at which each chamber passes its proposed amendments to the other for further consideration. We're eager to see these proposed amendments on Budget Sunday on February 22nd. The General Assembly session is scheduled to conclude March 14th, which is when legislators are expected to reach consensus on their amendments and send the final budget to Governor Spanberger for consideration. Now, let's take a look at the fiscal year 26-27 proposed budget and how it compares to this year's appropriation. The proposed budget totals $855 million, an increase of $10.4 million, or 1.2% over the current year. And the following slides will review the proposed operating budget, grants, and special funds. Additionally, please visit cpsschools.com/budget following this evening's board meeting to view the full proposed budget documents. Starting with the operating budget, operating revenue is $707.6 million, an increase of $16.6 million, or 2.4% over this year's appropriation. Governor Youngkin's proposed budget for state aid and sales tax provides $9 million of this increase. While our ADM decline of 655 students reduces state funding, other factors more than make up for this loss. The state's pay supplement, positive changes in our LCI and VRS rates, updated cost calculations, and technical adjustments. Federal revenues, including aid for federally connected students, supplemental impact aid, special education impact aid, and Medicaid reimbursements are expected to be flat. Impact aid revenues are based on the annual impact aid survey our students take home every October. Local revenues, which include rent, recoveries, rebates, and tuition, are expected to stay the same as last year. The city's contribution to schools increases by $10.7 million over last year's budget. Under the revenue sharing formula, this funding includes what the state requires the city to contribute based on the LCI, the city's required match for optional incentive and lottery-funded programs, and extra funding beyond these requirements. The division depends on this extra funding to support programs and staffing that go beyond the standards of quality. This budget also includes $8.3 million in one-time funds from last year's actual over-budget revenue, which is also known as the revenue share true-up. This money came from the city's final revenue being higher than projected by the revenue sharing formula when planning for fiscal year 24-25. These funds are critical to our strategy in providing one-time infrastructure projects and operation needs beyond what is supported by the city's revenue share formula and state revenue. Operating revenue is used to support Chesapeake's quality education programs and services that meets the needs of all learners. Personnel and fringe benefits make up our largest spending category at about 85% of total spending. This category includes salaries, educational and non-educational supplements, healthcare costs, federal and state taxes, and VRS contributions. Our second largest spending area is purchase services, which includes services we hire out to leverage outside companies' expertise or when we don't have the resources to do the work in-house. The third category is materials and supplies, which includes expenditures such as instructional materials. The remaining spending includes other charges, capital outlay, and a $3 million transfer to support the athletic funds. The fiscal year 26-27 operating budget is balanced, with additional year-over-year funding allocated to align with Empower 2030 and support stakeholder funding priorities while maintaining services and operations. While the $16.6 million is a significant amount of additional money, it provides just enough to fund a compensation adjustment equal to 1 additional % more than the 2% adjustment supported by the state, while also addressing rising operational costs, maintaining current programming, and continuing to support all-in programming that is expiring in June. As shown in this table, most of the additional money goes to personnel and fringe benefits, followed by purchase services, other charges, and materials and supplies. Decreases in capital outlay help balance out these increases. In the following slides, we'll review the changes in each spending category. Personnel and fringe benefits are increasing by $10.3 million, driven primarily by the planned compensation adjustment. The compensation adjustment, healthcare cost trend, and the addition of new positions and reclassifications total approximately $24.6 million. However, reductions in VRS rates and the elimination of the UKG pay schedule transition supplement provided in fiscal year 25-26 offset these increases by $14.4 million. Without these offsets, the total revenue increase will cover only the healthcare cost trend and approximately half of the compensation adjustment. As Dr. Cotton presented earlier, teachers and Unified Scale staff will receive a 3% compensation increase. Both scales will receive a 1.5% scale adjustment and a 1.5 step adjustment, totaling approximately 3%. Above scale employees will also receive a 3% compensation adjustment. Starting teacher pay is proposed to increase to $57,413. As a reminder, new staff hired after January will not receive the adjustment, but will be placed on the pay step closest to their hourly rates. Here we have an overview of the new positions and reclassifications included in the proposed budget. School-based positions include 5 school-based instructional support positions to directly serve students, 1 data quality secretary, 1 custodian, 1 academy coordinator that will develop and plan the new high school academy, and 1 planning principal for the new elementary school at Culpeper Landing. No new central office positions will be added in fiscal year 26-27. The budget also includes reclassifications affecting 7 instructional support and operational positions across the division. Among these reclassifications are bus driver trainer positions and a family and community engagement position supporting a couple of the Empower 2030 key initiatives shared by Dr. Cotton. Now, let's take a look at the $8.5 million increase in healthcare expenditures. When planning healthcare costs for the fiscal year, we must account for both the 26-27 plan years, as plan years are based on calendar years. For fiscal year 26-27, we use healthcare cost projections from both plan years 2026 and 2027. Plan year 2025 costs were 5.1% higher than the plan year 2024. With healthcare expenditures continuing to rise, we are using budgeted trends of 7% for 2026 and 10% for 2027, while maintaining premium sharing between CPS and employees at optimal contribution rates that support plan sustainability and ensure competitive premiums for employees. In the spring, we will have more data for plan year 2026, which will allow us to reassess our trend assumptions and begin preparing plan year 2027 premiums. Taking a quick look at VRS rates in fiscal year 26-27, the defined benefit for VRS professionals is 12.2% in comparison to 14.2% in the current year. This results in a $6.9 million reduction in VRS expenditures. The change in rate is due to favorable VRS investment for performance and plan costs. Purchase services expenditures will increase by $6.1 million over the fiscal year 25-26 budget. This growth is driven primarily by continued support for building maintenance and repairs, right-sizing private transportation funding for special needs and homeless students to reflect actual costs, and continued AV replacements in school auditoriums and gyms. This table also outlines several additional projects required across the division. Not shown here is the continued funding for elementary school resource deputies at $2 million, as the level of support will remain unchanged. Other charges are expected to increase by approximately $2.4 million over the current fiscal year budget. This increase is primarily due to right-sizing expenditures for utilities to reflect actual costs. Additionally, a lot lease is needed for portable storage as we reduce portable usage and benefit from the additional capacity resulting from the opening of Crestwood Elementary School, the addition of Southeastern Elementary School, and in coming years, the new elementary school at Culpeper Landing. Materials and supply expenditures are projected to increase by $2 million. This increase is primarily due to new doors and hardware planned for Great Bridge High School, LED lighting upgrades at Oscar Smith High School, and miscellaneous incidentals anticipated for the new elementary school at Culpeper Landing. Capital outlay is proposed to decrease by $4.1 million, due primarily to the right sizing of equipment and furniture, reduced replacement fleet and specialty vehicle purchases, elimination of new and replacement portables, and the transfer of funding for elementary school security foyers to the CIP. These declines are partially offset by the implementation of a bus replacement program in which we will begin purchasing buses regularly through leases rather than in significantly large one-time purchases. Additionally, transportation will pilot multimodal transportation services. If proven successful, this initiative will reduce private transportation costs currently incurred today. Overall, grant revenue is declining by $3.8 million. This decline is driven primarily by the expiration of Virginia's All-In Grant, which was designed to combat pandemic-era learning loss and chronic absenteeism. Increases are anticipated in Title I and Title VI-B federal grants. Title I provides additional support to our schools with high percentages of low-income students. Title VI-B provides additional support to special education services for students. This slide provides an overview of the $2.4 million change to the special funds. The athletic and cell tower funds are adjusted by $1.3 million and $1.8 million, respectively, to align with the historical expenditures and the exclusion of one-time purchases included in fiscal year 25-26. For the athletic fund, we are planning to centralize more expenditures in the coming year. This will help ease the middle and high school's athletic-related expenditures while leveraging pricing power at the division level for purchase services such as mowing of fields and new uniforms. The self-insurance fund is increasing to support anticipated growth in healthcare costs and the management of its benefit plans and wellness programs. The superintendent's proposed budget book includes a complete listing of all current fees. Fees are under review to ensure all programs and cost increases are properly accounted for. Updated fees will be provided to the board for final approval during the budget process. I want to highlight a change to school meal fees as this will impact the most students. School breakfast and lunch will increase by 10 cents, bringing school breakfast to $1.80 and school lunch to $3.30. These fees are subject to change based on state and federal guidelines. I appreciate your time this evening. I will now hand it back over to Dr. Cotton.
Thank you, Mrs. Glad. Now I'd like to bring forward a proposal to utilize one-time funds. We do this every year when we present the budget. These funds will be used to support non-recurring projects in the operating budget and capital projects in the CIP. This slide, along with the following one, provides a comprehensive overview of how we plan to use one-time funds with the operating fund, of course, with board approval. This strategic allocation empowers us to invest in critical initiatives that cannot be funded through our regular revenue streams. A significant portion of these one-time resources is directed toward enhancing our infrastructure across the division. This also includes crucial upgrades such as new doors and hardware at Great Bridge High School that you've heard about, as well as LED lighting enhancements at Oscar Smith High School. We're also allocating funds for AV equipment replacements in our school auditoriums and gyms. Additionally, a portion of these funds will address various anticipated needs at the new Culpeper Landing Elementary School. You'll also see continued prioritization for safety and security related projects here and on the next slide as well. We have identified several additional projects that we recommend funding through one-time resources. These items prioritize infrastructure improvements, equipment upgrades, and modernizations and safety enhancements, all designed to ensure the most effective use of the allocated funds. Here is an overview of our use of one-time funds within the capital improvement program. I want to emphasize our commitment to the replacement of high school fields and the upgrading of tracks over the next few years. With the projects proposed here, we will only have 2 high schools remaining to complete this ongoing initiative. Additionally, we plan to enhance our focus on major maintenance and repairs by using one-time funds rather than relying solely on lockbox funding. We will also proceed with the construction of secure vestibule entrances for all elementary schools to enhance safety. As you know, all of our new elementary schools have these. We need to start working on making sure all of our elementary schools have these security vestibules. With the board's support, we plan to submit our request for the appropriation of one-time funds to the city in March. And I would also like to take a moment as I close to address some significant capital needs that the revenue sharing formula currently does not support or cover. Safety remains our top priority, and we must prioritize funding for the installation of security vestibules in our remaining elementary schools, as I just shared. Additionally, securing funding for a new facility to replace Carver Intermediate remains a significant priority for us, and we need to continue to work to move forward with that project. We also have additional needs, including upgrading HVAC systems, repairing roofs, completing paving projects, enhancing our athletic facilities, and modernizing various infrastructure components. Unfortunately, the current lockbox and revenue sharing formula does not sufficiently address these requirements. While pandemic funding provided a temporary solution for HVAC upgrades in recent years, the absence of this support now makes it imperative that we look for ways to ensure the continued functionality and efficiency of our educational facilities. All of these initiatives allow us to ensure that our schools continue to serve students effectively. Looking ahead at our next meeting, we will hold a public hearing and hopefully provide an update from the General Assembly. Then at our first meeting in March, we will hold a second public hearing and request board adoption of the proposed budgets and action to request the use of one-time funds that I've shared with you this evening. On May 19th, we will balance the budget to the City Council's budget appropriation, review a final reconciliation of changes since the proposed budget, and request board adoption of the budget at that time. Thank you for your time this evening. Our goal throughout the budget process is to focus our efforts on key strategic priorities that support our students and schools, and we are now happy to answer any questions board members may have.
Ms. Weigert?
I don't have a question. I just have a couple of comments I wanted to share and put an exclamation point on a couple of things that were said tonight. I think it's really important to come back to, I think it was the original pie chart, and really emphasize that while we do work within a large budget, 85% of that budget appropriately goes to our staff paying for their salaries and their benefits. And while that is a large number, we know that it is still a priority. It was a priority coming out of the surveys. It was a priority before we even saw the survey of both the board and the administration to make sure we are looking for ways to add another raise in there this year, and that is something that is built into this. I do want to make sure that everybody understands what that means, though, is that there's only 15% left of the budget to do everything else. That's buying school buses, that's replacing, football fields, it's making sure we have textbooks where those are still used, it's paying for light bulbs and toilet paper and lunches and every other thing that goes in there. So I commend your department, Ms. Glod, for looking for ways to move money where we didn't need it anymore, to make sure that we're able to prioritize other things and make sure that we're getting as much done as humanly possible. And again, I certainly am pleased that the administration and the board are in agreement that a priority has to be continuing to provide raises to our staff, and that we've built that in. And we are looking at doing as many of those other things as possible, but please work with us and know that we can't possibly do everything we would like to do, but we are working to do absolutely everything we can do. And thank you for working with us on that.
Thank you.
Mr. McCormick?
Thank you, Ms. Glad. I appreciate the presentation. I do have a question, and this is a topic that's come up in a neighboring city about health insurance costs and then increase on that. And there was a slide showing projections, 7%, 10%. Are we projecting to pass any of that cost along, or is the budget right now have the school division covering that cost, or is there a shared? How's that broken down?
Our same share between CPS and employees. So if we do need to increase premiums, the employees may also see increases there. But honestly, it's a little bit early to tell because we need to have more 2026 data in order for us to really feel confident about what 2027 will look like. But that was what we assumed.
Okay, and so right now, there's not a projection of any dramatic increase, or if there is an increase, it's going to be in the same proportion?
It would be in the same proportion that we shared today.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't see any more questions, but I appreciate Ms. Weigert and how she eloquently spoke about the importance of pay for our teachers and how the budget divides up. It is a significant part of our budget, but it's a very important part of our budget. So thank you, Mrs. Glad. Next, we will move on to the action agenda. The only item is the VSBA opportunities. Dr. Smith. Oh, no, wait, sorry. I'm totally missed Dr. Joppy. The next item is the virtual learning update with Dr. Joppy.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As part of our school division's commitment to our strategic plan, we continue to prioritize innovative and flexible learning opportunities that expand access and meet the needs of our diverse learners. So this evening's presentation reflects that focus, highlighting the growth and impact of virtual learning across our school division. So providing tonight's update on virtual learning is our program administrator for virtual instruction, Mr. Stephen Chamberlain.
Good evening. Chair Scott, Vice Chair Lamonia, and members of the board, I am here this evening to provide you with an update on the progress of the virtual instruction program in Chesapeake Public Schools. The Empower 2025 strategic plan allowed our school division to expand virtual learning opportunities in Chesapeake, and we are excited about additional opportunities for students that will occur as part of the Empower 2030 initiatives. Many of you are familiar with Chesapeake Virtual Academy, the flagship K-12 program for students in our school division. Much of tonight's presentation will focus on CVA, but I will also provide information about 4 other online learning opportunities for students in Chesapeake, including distance learning, virtual Virginia, credit recovery, and multi-division online providers. Taken together, these programs allow students to exercise greater control over the time, place, path, and pace of learning in ways that best suits their needs. In the current school year, over 1,868 students in grades K through 12 will participate as a full-time or part-time student in Chesapeake Virtual Academy. Students in grades K through 8 attend CVA full-time, while students in grades 9 through 12 have the option to participate as full or part-time students. We also provide distance learning courses to 209 students in 5 different middle schools and offer additional online courses to students through the Virtual Virginia program. In the first semester of this year, over 200 high school students enrolled in credit recovery, where they were able to earn credit for previously failed courses in order to maintain an on-time graduation path. Finally, 68 students at the Chesapeake Center for Student Success, Harbor Hope, and our comprehensive middle and high schools enrolled in courses offered through Imagine Learning Edgenuity, a multi-division online provider in the state of Virginia. Online learning does not stop when the school year ends in June either. As you can see from the data on the right, 1,367 students enrolled in online courses in the summer of 2025, where they had an opportunity to earn credit for a previously failed course or took new courses for initial credit. Virtual learning happens throughout the year in Chesapeake as students take advantage of our robust course offerings. Launched in the 2021-22 school year, Chesapeake Virtual Academy is open to all students in Chesapeake, free of charge, and strives to provide students with access to personalized learning experiences while developing the 5 C's found in the profile of a Virginia graduate. A traditional school environment isn't always the best fit for every student, and CVA allows students to choose a unique path. As you have seen in our enrollment numbers, over 1,800 students are choosing CVA this school year, and they do so for a variety of reasons. Access to courses that may not be available at their home school, health issues, or to take advantage of the flexibility that comes with online learning. For some students, this means they have opportunities to engage in work-based learning experiences, take specialized coursework at the Governor's School or TCC, catch up on credits needed for an on-time graduation, or simply participate in school in an environment that better suits their needs. Many students with disabilities find that online learning provides them with greater control over the pace of their learning, resulting in a level of academic success beyond what they may have been able to achieve in a brick-and-mortar setting. All students in Chesapeake Virtual Academy learn from the same high-quality CPS curriculum used in our brick-and-mortar schools and are taught by Chesapeake Public Schools teachers. And while CVA affords students the opportunity to learn from anywhere, teachers can also teach from anywhere. Most members of the CVA faculty and staff live in the Hampton Roads area, but some have been able to maintain employment with Chesapeake Public Schools through military moves and other changing family situations. The red stars on the map display out-of-state locations of several CVA staff members who serve our students each day. CVA elementary students engage in both synchronous and asynchronous instruction 5 days a week and are required to complete a daily attendance check. The day is structured according to CPS guidelines to provide students with access to whole and small group instruction in reading and math, as well as dedicated time for science, social studies, and resources like music, art, PE, and school counseling. Students also participate in a daily power-up session for remediation or enrichment opportunities, and they can schedule additional one-to-one time with their teacher during the day. CVA middle school students also participate in weekly synchronous and asynchronous instruction, but have greater flexibility in their daily schedule to work independently or participate in small group or one-on-one sessions with their teacher. Students in the middle school program may participate in academic or advanced level core classes in addition to electives offered through CVA and Virtual Virginia. Students have additional time to participate in remediation or enrichment activities through their Core Plus bell that meets each morning. like all CVA students, middle school students must also complete a daily attendance check and follow all CPS attendance policies. At the high school level, students have the greatest flexibility as they may be a full-time CVA student taking as many as 8 classes a year, or a part-time CVA student taking as many as 1 class in addition to the classes they take in the building. CVA High is an asynchronous program in which students are not required to be logged in at any specific time, but they too must complete a daily attendance check. Students enjoy the ability to work at their own pace towards weekly deadlines, and success requires students to be independent learners and strong self-advocates. Teachers host multiple synchronous sessions each day, and students may join if their schedule permits. Teachers are also available throughout the day and one evening each week to meet one-to-one with students who need additional support. Exceptional learners are always welcome to participate in CVA, and we offer a continuum of services to meet their needs. CVA case managers provide students with inclusion support, pull-out services, and self-contained classrooms for students with more severe disabilities. Related services, such as OT and PT, can be delivered virtual or in person for full-time CVA students. For advanced learners, we provide gifted services in grades 3 through 8, and English learners receive EL services as well. Some of our exceptional learners have experienced tremendous success as online students, and we are excited to celebrate their accomplishments. We understand that online learning can be isolating for some, and we strive to provide opportunities for traditional student interaction. All CVA students maintain a connection to their home school and may participate in school-sponsored sports, clubs, and activities, including prom and graduation ceremonies. Students have many opportunities to interact with their peers through collaborative group work and build interpersonal relationships through morning meetings, small group meetings with CVA school counselors, and lunch bunches. Prior to the start of school, we host a meet and greet for K-8 students to meet their teacher in person, and students at the high school level may report to their zone school to complete work in a designated virtual learning center. One of our most popular events is the CVA Family Fun Night, held at least twice a year for K-8 students. At Family Fun Night, students have the opportunity to socialize in an open gym, play board games, conduct STEM activities, and build relationships with each other. In-person field trips are also popular as students engage in experiential learning activities in the real world. As is always the case, parents are important partners in student success, and perhaps even more so for students learning online from home. We ask all parents to ensure students have a safe, secure, and structured learning environment in the home with access to a CPS Chromebook and internet access. And just as parents have a responsibility to ensure students make it to school each day in a brick-and-mortar environment, we ask parents to ensure our students complete their daily attendance check, attend all synchronous sessions, and complete all assignments for the week. The CVA application for 26-27 opened on January 5th, and we would like to use this opportunity to help spread the word to students who are interested in enrolling for next year. All students, including those enrolled in CVA this school year, must reapply for next year. The application is posted on the CVA school website and must be submitted by March 12th, 2026. Applying early is encouraged as all course offerings are subject to sufficient enrollment and seats are limited. Incoming elementary and middle school students will receive acceptance letters in mid to late May and have the opportunity to withdraw from the program through June 17th, 2026. Rising 9th through 12th grade students who are interested in enrolling in CVA for next school year should enter their course request in Student View based on their school's scheduling timeline and complete the CVA application by March 12th. Parents will be able to view CVA course request verification letters in Parent View in early March, and CVA courses will post to Synergy this summer along with student schedules for the coming school year. So while we're excited about the successes of CVA, the CPS Virtual Instruction Program serves students through multiple platforms. At the beginning of the presentation, I noted there were 209 middle school students enrolled in distance learning classes at 5 middle schools across the city. Distance learning offerings are usually in hard-to-staff subject areas like world languages and math, and allow us to provide students to classes that would not otherwise be available to them. These students meet synchronously each day with their teacher and classmates via Google Meet while attending their regular brick-and-mortar school. In some situations, students need or would like to take a course that is not available through CVA or distance learning. In these instances, students have the option of enrolling in an online course with Virtual Virginia, an online program operated by the state of Virginia in partnership with school divisions across the Commonwealth. World languages like Chinese, American Sign Language, and dual enrollment CTE courses are examples of classes that are popular with our students. Students who want to know more about Virtual Virginia offerings should speak with their school counselor and be aware that Virtual Virginia operates on a slightly different school calendar compared to Chesapeake. Virtual Virginia is also a good option for students who would like to take a course not offered through the CPS summer school program. High school students who fail a course and need to recover credit in order to maintain an on-time graduation are eligible to enroll in credit recovery courses. These online courses provide students with an opportunity to earn credit for a course by demonstrating mastery of the content without having to repeat the entire course. Students work asynchronously at their own pace, are assigned a mentor at their home school who provides coaching support, and may recover multiple credits in a semester. Since its launch in 2017, the Credit Recovery Program has helped all 7 high schools with their on-time graduation rates. In certain circumstances, students are not able to participate in CVA or Virtual Virginia courses, so we offer them the opportunity to earn course credit by enrolling in a VDOE-approved multi-division online provider course. These students may have health conditions that limit their ability to attend synchronous instruction, need a course for graduation that is not offered through our other programs, or have enrollment restrictions from the Office of Student Conduct and Support. In Chesapeake, we contract with Imagine Learning Edgenuity to provide students with asynchronous instructional services with online teacher support as needed. This school year, we expanded our use of MOP enrollments at the Chesapeake Center for Student Success and Harbor Hope Center, which provides both schools with scheduling flexibility to best serve their students. Virtual learning opportunities are abundant in Chesapeake, and we're excited for the additional growth in the coming years while working to support the goals of Empower 2030. Chesapeake Virtual Academy in particular is unique, as no other school division in our region offers students as many courses across all grade levels with their own teachers using their own curriculum. Our students are excelling in these programs, and we're helping to meet the needs of a diverse student population. Thank you for your time this evening. I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Mr. Poole?
Yes, sir. First of all, I think you did a great job presenting tonight. That's really phenomenal.
Thank you.
But I noticed that you said that teachers could live out of state. Is that correct?
That's correct.
If they had a military transfer, they can still continue to work.
That's correct.
So if I'm on active duty, I have 4 children. I get sent to Pensacola for training, knowing that I'm coming back here in 2 years. Can my children be in the CVA program? And if not, why not?
If the children maintain legal residency here in Chesapeake, they are permitted to stay in CVA.
So my question then, why is that? If a teacher can live out of state and go to school here, why can't a child live out of state for a short period of time because their parents are deployed and not continue the program when they know they're coming back here in maybe 2 years to continue?
Dr. Cotton, you want to talk about residency requirements?
I see you looking at me. That's my question. Thank you, Mr. Poole. I appreciate that. Yes, keep in mind, CVA is not a school. It's an academy program. Academy-type program. The students who attend CVA actually maintain enrollment at their assigned school, which is one of the benefits of our program, that they can participate in school-based activities and such. In order for that to happen, obviously CVA would have to become a school where students can pay tuition to attend, but what you're describing is even further than that. They're out of state, which is even more problematic as we move down that road. But we have explored different possibilities, at least within Virginia, to charge tuition and open it up, but we would have to consider making CVA a school versus a program, which it is now. But again, we would certainly take direction from the board to explore that, but we have explored that over the past few years, and there are some roadblocks to doing that. I don't know if you want to speak to any of those, but I know we've already started looking at ways that we can allow people to apply, but I think we have to be a certified multi-service provider, correct?
We do. We would have to become approved as a multi-division online provider through VDOE, which is not a super difficult process. One of the biggest impediments right now is the economics of it. We would be competing against, our biggest competitor would be Virtual Virginia, and because they have the economy of scale advantage that we just would not have, it would not prove to be fruitful for Chesapeake to provide those services statewide.
I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Moving on to the action agenda, the only item is the VSBA opportunities. Dr. Smith.
Thank you, Chair Scott. I actually have two opportunities to provide to the board tonight. The first is the VSBA, the Virginia School Boards Association, is hosting its March Hot Topic Conference, March 19th. This will be in Charlottesville. If any board member would like to attend this opportunity, please raise your hand. Okay, seeing none, I have a second opportunity, and this is an extension of the orientation for newly elected school board members that they have announced. This training session will be on March 27th in Charlottesville. Anyone is welcome to attend. If any board member would like to go, please raise your hand. All right, seeing no, this completes my item. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. We will now move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Just have a couple calendar reminders before I go into my spotlight this evening. Monday, February 16th, schools and offices will be closed in celebration of President's Day. And I'd also like to take a moment to let our community know about several upcoming opportunities for public comment regarding the proposed school rezoning. As a reminder, rezoning options for the new elementary school in the Culpeper Landing neighborhood were presented at the school board's January meeting. The school board will accept public comment on the rezoning options at our upcoming meetings on February 23rd and March 23rd. Citizens who wish to speak are asked to sign up in advance by contacting the clerk's office. Additional information about the rezoning proposal, including materials shared at prior meetings and ongoing updates, is available on the division's website. Thank you for the opportunity to share my spotlight with you this evening. I hope everyone has had a good start to the second semester of the year and that everyone is staying warm throughout this wintry weather we've had for the past few weeks. Even though we've had some unplanned time away from school recently, we've continued to have exciting and creative things happening each and every day. January 29th and 30th were in-service days for our teachers as we move into the second semester. During these 2 days, our teachers participated in a variety of professional development opportunities. Education expert Dr. Catlin Tucker and speech pathology expert Dr. Jenny Biorum led trainings for our employees. The Chesapeake Fire Department visited our schools to train our folks on updated fire safety protocols, and registered dietitian Linda Slotke led a cooking demonstration for the culinary faculty at Western Branch High. Thank you to all of our experts who dedicated their time coaching up our employees as we head into the second half of the school year. Your insight and knowledge is sure to help them continue to make a difference for our students. Students taking the sports marketing course at Western Branch High School wrapped up their semester with a unique project. Students in Mrs. Hatfield's class used what they learned throughout the course to create new sports teams and arenas. Using their knowledge of marketing, the students were able to strategically choose their team's branding, location, and sponsors to ensure that their theoretical new franchise would be successful. From new Major League Baseball teams to racing venues, the Bruins had some creative designs and used some thoughtful planning. Thank you to Mrs. Hatfield for creating such a unique and engaging final project for the Bruins. More creativity was on display when the Chesapeake Council Parent-Teacher Association led their annual citywide Reflections Awards ceremony. I was happy to attend the event, which celebrated talented students from schools across our district who placed in their schools' respective Reflections contest. This year, students reflected on the theme, I Belong, and based on all of the outstanding entries, I know our future is in great hands. The first place winners were selected by our CCPTA and will move forward to the Southeastern District competition. Congratulations to all of our students who participated and to the CCPTA for celebrating our talented students. Of course, we had a little McCormick child in the group there, so congratulations. Some of our brightest and most talented students at the Grassfield High School Governor's STEM Academy got to show off their skills at their annual STEM showcase. The event is a great opportunity for students to share their culminating projects where they were tasked with documenting, showcasing, and defending their work over the course of the semester. STEM students use knowledge from courses including aerospace engineering, leadership and entrepreneurship, architecture, and more. I always enjoy seeing the creativity of our students, and I couldn't be more impressed with the problem-solving skills and intelligence used to complete these projects. Our district was also in the STEM spotlight recently as we were invited to contribute a chapter to the book STEM Century. It Takes a Village to Raise a 21st Century Graduate by the AASA School Superintendents Association. I was proud to have Dr. Delphine Jabi, our Chief Academic Officer, co-author the chapter with me, and in truth, she helped a lot more than I did, to share the division-wide blueprint for STEM. It was exciting to work together to reflect on how we've incorporated STEM through all levels of learning here in Chesapeake Public Schools. Thank you to Dr. Jabi for working with me to highlight Chesapeake Public Schools, and thanks to the AASA for inviting us to share our STEM journey. And of course, books can be purchased. I'm teasing. I will save that for later. Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the board. This completes my spotlight for this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Cotton. Last on our agenda this evening is board member items. Does any board member have items to bring before the group? Ms. Huddle?
I'll just, on behalf of all of us, say thank you for the wonderful school board gifts. It's a pleasure and an honor to serve, and I suspect my colleagues would agree with me.
Indeed. Thank you, Ms. Huddle. I have one final comment. I want to give a shout out to the Jolliffe Middle School PTA. They allowed me to attend their meeting this morning, and I was so impressed with how cohesive and organized their board is. It was so good to see their principal, Mr. Kavanaugh, their school secretaries apart, and then their teacher liaison, and then these amazing parents. They're off to a very successful year. I was excited to learn all about their Winter Wonderland dance. It's their first time that they've had a dance, and they doubled their expected profits. That's a huge PTA achievement. They're getting ready for their book fair, and their theme is going to be Enchanted Forest. It sounds amazing. And then they've done so well financially that they really want to now invest in a student focused project, and I know that they're looking specifically at ways that they can update their courtyard and make some investments there, make it an exceptional space for their students. So I just want to say thank you to the Jolliffe Middle School PTA. I did bring my cup today. I told them I was going to drink out of it during the meeting, hopefully while the camera was on me, but it's a really cool cup and I appreciate it. And I thank you for all the work that you're doing. Our PTAs are an important part of our school and making our schools a great place for our students and our teachers and all of our staff. So thank you. And with that, I call this meeting adjourned.